There is an animal alive right now that scientists believe cannot die of old age. Not metaphorically, literally. Its cells reverse the aging process and return to their youngest state. We have studied it for decades and still cannot fully explain how. And that is just number one. Everything you are about to hear is real, verified, and will completely change how you see the animal kingdom. We are covering 10 animal facts. That sounds so impossible they should be fiction. Some of these will make you question biology. Some will genuinely disturb you. And number 7, I want you to think about what you had for breakfast this morning, before we get there. Trust me. Fact number 1. There is a jellyfish that is biologically immortal. Its name is Turritopsis dohrnii. It is smaller than your pinky fingernail. And when it gets old, sick, or injured, instead of dying, it reverts its cells completely back to their earliest stage of development. It essentially hits rewind on its own body and starts its entire life cycle over again. This process is called transdifferentiation, and no other known animal on Earth can do it. Scientists have been studying this jellyfish since the 1990s and still cannot fully replicate the mechanism. It does not live forever in practice. It can be eaten, killed by disease, or destroyed by its environment. But from a pure biological aging standpoint, it does not have to die. Ever. Fact number 2. The mantis shrimp can punch with the force of a bullet. This creature is about the size of your hand. It lives in shallow ocean water, and it throws a punch that accelerates faster than a .22 caliber bullet, reaching speeds of 80 kilometers per hour in under 3 milliseconds. The impact is so powerful, it superheats the water around it, creating a flash of light and a shockwave that can stun or kill prey, even if the punch misses entirely. Aquariums that keep mantis shrimp use specially reinforced glass. Regular aquarium glass does not survive. There are documented cases of mantis shrimp punching through the walls of their tanks and escaping. Do not let the word shrimp fool you. This is the most dangerous thing in any ocean it inhabits. Fact number 3. Crows remember human faces and hold grudges. A study at the University of Washington confirmed that crows can recognize individual human faces, remember them for years, and communicate that information to other crows in their group. In the study, researchers who had previously trapped and tagged crows wore specific masks when returning to the area. The crows immediately identified the masks, dive-bombed those specific researchers, and recruited other crows to join the harassment. Crows who had never even encountered those researchers before. Years later, wearing the same mask in the same area still triggered the same response. If you have ever messed with a crow, thrown something at it, scared it, or disturbed its nest, it almost certainly still knows your face, and so do its friends. Fact number 4. Elephants are the only animals that perform rituals for their dead. When an elephant dies, its herd does not simply move on. They return to the body, sometimes traveling miles out of their way. They touch the bones with their trunks, stand in silence, and have been observed covering the body with branches and leaves. When researchers moved elephant bones to study them, the herd tracked the bones to the new location and gathered around them again. They also react to the bones of other elephants they have never met, showing no such behavior toward the bones of other large animals, like rhinos or buffalo. What this means about elephant consciousness, what they understand about death, memory, and loss, is something science still cannot fully answer. Fact number 5. Sea otters hold hands while they sleep, so they don't drift apart. This one is real, and it is exactly as it sounds. Sea otters sleep floating on their backs, on the surface of the ocean. To prevent being separated from their group or their mate by currents, while unconscious, they reach out and hold each other's paws. The behavior is called a raft. A group of otters floating together, paws interlinked. A mother otter will also place her pup on her chest while sleeping, wrapping her arms around it so the current cannot carry it away. This is not a cute coincidence. It is a deliberate survival strategy, but it is also, by any reasonable measure, one of the most tender things any animal on Earth does. Fact number 6. Goats have accents, and they change them depending on who they spend time with. Queen Mary University of London published a study confirming that young goats raised in different social groups develop distinctly different calls. And when moved to a new group, their calls gradually shift to match the sounds of the goats around them. This was the first confirmed evidence of a non-human, non-primate land mammal, socially learning and adapting its vocalizations based on its environment. In plain terms, goats pick up accents from the goats they hang out with. A goat raised in Wales sounds different from a goat raised in Scotland. And if you move that Welsh goat to Scotland, within weeks it starts to sound Scottish. The implications for how we understand animal communication and social learning are enormous, and scientists are still unpacking them. Fact number 7. Honey never expires, and you have almost certainly eaten some that is thousands of years old. Think about what you had for breakfast. If there was honey involved, that honey, sitting in a jar on a shelf, could theoretically last longer than human civilization has existed. Archaeologists discovered honey in Egyptian tombs that is over 3,000 years old. They tasted it. It was still good. Honey's chemical composition, its low moisture content, natural hydrogen peroxide, and acidic pH, makes it one of the only foods on Earth that does not spoil under normal conditions. Bacteria and microorganisms simply cannot survive in it. The only way honey goes bad is if water gets in. Sealed honey is effectively immortal. You are eating something with the same shelf life as stone. Fact number 8. Wombats produce cube-shaped droppings, and science only figured out why in 2018. This is not a joke. Wombats are the only known animal on Earth that produces cubic feces. Perfect cubes, consistently, every time. For years, nobody understood the mechanism, because you cannot make a cube by pushing something through a round tube. It defied basic geometry. In 2018, researchers at Georgia Institute of Technology finally discovered the answer. The last section of a wombat's intestine has varying elastic properties. Some sections are stiffer than others, which shapes the material into cubes as it moves through. Wombats use these cubes to mark territory on rocks and elevated surfaces. The cube shape prevents them from rolling away. This discovery actually won an Ig Nobel Prize, the award given for research that first makes you laugh, then makes you think. The finding is now being studied for applications in manufacturing and medical devices. Fact number 9. Dogs can smell cancer, low blood sugar, and earthquakes before they happen. A dog's nose contains up to 300 million olfactory receptors. Humans have about 6 million. Their sense of smell is estimated to be between 10,000 and 100,000 times more powerful than ours. The practical results of this are extraordinary. Medical detection dogs trained in the UK have identified cancer from breath and urine samples, with accuracy rates above 90%. Dogs have warned diabetic owners of dangerous blood sugar drops minutes before any device detected them. And multiple studies across Japan and California have documented dogs behaving with extreme anxiety, whining, refusing to move, clinging to owners, in the minutes before earthquakes that no instrument had yet registered. What they are detecting exactly is still debated. Some researchers believe they sense subtle shifts in Earth's magnetic field. Others think they smell gases released by shifting rock. Nobody has confirmed the exact mechanism. The dogs just know. Fact number 10. And this is the one that should genuinely keep you up at night. Tardigrades, also called water bears, are almost certainly the last life form that will exist on Earth. They are microscopic, half a millimeter long. They live in moss, in soil, in the ocean. You have almost certainly swallowed some, without knowing it. And they are effectively indestructible. Tardigrades survive temperatures from -272 degrees Celsius to 150 degrees above. They survive radiation thousands of times the lethal dose for humans. They survive the complete vacuum of outer space. They were literally sent to space unprotected on an exposed satellite and came back alive. They can enter a state called cryptobiosis, shutting down all biological functions entirely, reducing their water content to 3%, and survive in this suspended state for up to 30 years. Then wake up, hydrate, and continue living. Scientists have calculated that tardigrades will outlive every other species on Earth. When the sun expands into a red giant and boils the oceans, in approximately 5 billion years, tardigrades may be the last thing left alive on this planet. You share Earth with something that will still be here long after every mountain, every ocean, and every trace of humanity is gone. An immortal jellyfish, a shrimp that punches like a bullet, a creature that will outlive the entire human race. The animal kingdom is operating on a completely different level to anything we were taught in school. Which one of these genuinely shocked you the most? Drop it in the comments right now. I read every single one. And if this broke your brain in the best way, this video is next.